Welcome back for another episode. Today we have with us Kim Stewart and Tyler Arms. They are the new owners of New Horizon Athletics, and they also just purchased Mad Fitness Gym. And where y'all changing the name of that one to?
It'll be NHA 24/7.
NHA 24/7. All right, Tyler, just go ahead and introduce yourself there.
I'm Tyler Arms, so we've just purchased the gym, of course. We both still work full-time jobs. I'm the finance director for the county. 2 kids married, so we live a busy life, but we're loving it so far.
I'm Kim Stewart. Of course, I've always lived here in Jamestown. I'm the Farm Bureau agent here in Fentress County. Been that for 14 years and just love the gym. And when it come available to purchase, Tyler and myself just decided that we would purchase it. I've been exercising there for almost 4 years in this October. And then when we bought that one, we said that hopefully someday we might get to buy the Mad Fitness Gym, but we didn't think it would happen 3 months after we purchased the first gym. So
that wasn't
real busy.
That wasn't in the works or nothing when you first got into the gym.
No,
Not
it
at all.
sure wasn't.
So it just happened at the right time.
Well, I don't know if it was the right time. It sure did happen fast.
So, like you said, you were both training there. Were you training there too before you all bought it, or?
So when New Horizon first came, I was in with that original group, the founders group, what they called it, and I was kind of doing CrossFit style workout on my own. I just liked the layout of it, got into the CrossFit style workout, and then when they moved up and opened New Horizon, I was all in. I was there 5-6 days a week. I started coaching there in 2019. Coached until they shut down for COVID. When they shut down for COVID, everybody went working out from home. Of course, gyms shut down, things shut down. And then when it opened back up, I didn't go back to coaching. I kind of phased out of the gym. So actually, when we decided to purchase, I was more or less just kind of doing my own thing, not working out near as hard, not training near as hard for anything. I loved what the gym was about. I loved the community at the gym. And when I got the email that it was for sale, I had one guy call me that night, and I was like, man, I'd almost drop everything I got to buy this. And as soon as I hung up the phone with him, Kim called, and he was like, have you read your email? I said, well, I just seen it and just talked to somebody else. And I said, I told him I'd almost drop everything and buy it. And he said, me too. And I said, let's do it. Well, like 3 days later, we made an offer and paid a down payment on purchasing a gym. So it was not in the cards. We hadn't discussed it before or even talked about wanting to own a gym as far as that goes. It was just we loved the community and loved what that gym was about from the start and what it grew into, the people there, and I hated to see it shut down and wanted to keep it going. And it's been a lot of work. It's probably one of the hardest things that I've ever done, but I love every minute of it. So
when did you all officially become the owners of it?
January 25th.
January 25th. So you've been at it for a couple months now.
Yeah.
Has it been a lot more than you expected it to be, or?
Not really. I mean, I knew what it entailed, programming and things like that. I mean, we are a Mayhem affiliate, so I don't do all of my own programming. I do review the programming, and I try to tweak it so that it fits our members. CrossFit Mayhem out of Cookeville. We use programming based around them, and that programming is kind of tough for a lot of our members. There's high skill movements in there. Not everybody in our gym can do that. Maybe one day, but I scale those back, those weights. I change them to match our clientele and our members, and then we use their programming. So I do still have working with program, probably not as much as if I was doing all of it, though.
What's a normal class size look like out there most of the time?
Highly dependent on the time of day.
Yeah, the 5 a.m. class was probably the biggest class, and it'll range from 10 to 14 on the 5 a.m. The 6 a.m., there's a little group of ladies that most of the time they get together, and there's like 5 or 6 of those on the 6 a.m. And then 5:30 could vary. A big class on the weekdays would be Thursday evening, and there'll be a big class for some reason on Thursday evenings. There'll be a big class there. And Saturdays is our fun day. It's a lot of partner workout, We just get together and move and exercise and have a real good time on Saturdays. And this past Saturday, we had Bring a Friend and a community workout. Had a big crowd there. A lot of folks showed up, and those are really good. We're really trying to work those in a whole lot to bring the community in to the style. Let them see what we do there exactly and how we operate.
Yeah, because a lot of people, they hear like the CrossFit style and a lot of
Scares them.
yeah, they think it's just going to be real high intensity, but it's kind of like you were saying, you kind of dial it back a little bit and kind of tailor it to the clientele, right?
Yeah, we've got actually like 3 levels of programming. So every day has 3 levels, and we've got it's called Freedom, Independence, Liberty. So like, and that steps down like a performance, fitness, health category. So we've got a lady in there that's 80 years old. She's had part of her lung taken out, and she's in there every day crushing it. Like, we can meet fitness wherever you're at. So you don't have to be an elite athlete to get in there and be able to work out with us. You know, there's scalings for everybody there. Like, we can meet you where you're at. So,
Yeah, you can be a beginner and come out there and you're still going to fit in, and you're all
Absolutely.
going to have something for them.
yeah. And that community workout day, I think there was 20 or 22 there yesterday. So, you know, we of course partnered that up equipment wise. We were working in teams of 3 to 4 people and just get together, have a good time, fellowship, hang out.
Yeah, I think that's a great thing to do, and that's also, like you said, that's just a great advertising and great to get people in there to show them what it's all about and kind of change their perspective if they had a different view of it.
Absolutely.
And this time, one thing new on this community workout, some folks come from a gym in Byrdstown, came up from Pickett County. They brought 4 folks with them, and we're going to try to start integrating that a little bit more to where we can reach out to some other gyms. Maybe we go down there at theirs. If they was having one, they can come up here to ours.
Is that, do they come from another CrossFit gym, or is it just like a regular gym?
They're like us. They're not a CrossFit affiliate. But
Yeah,
they do
no,
the same,
yeah.
same style of working out.
Which,
Fellowship.
yeah, I know, because CrossFit is CrossFit's its own thing, technically, right?
Yeah.
And I guess if you're not affiliated with CrossFit, you don't really call yourself a CrossFit gym, but that's the general term that everybody kind of uses for that kind of working out, don't they?
Yeah. Fellowship Fitness out of Byrdstown. Ethan, so when we went into this, Ethan had been running a gym for probably 4 years, 3-4 years now. Maybe a little longer. I don't know exactly when he opened, but I stayed in contact with him on like programming, things to do. And a guy out of Livingston, Lauren, I talked to him quite a bit about, you know, when we were coming into this, it was all new to us and it was quick. I mean, it was happening within 45 days. We were about to be gym owners having to take this on. So
You was having to learn a lot at one time.
yeah, so I talked to those guys quite a bit and leaned on them. And then we've been trying to get Ethan to come up and work out with us. And he brought 3 guys with him, or 3 people with him. 2 guys and the lady came with him yesterday, and they worked out. We had a good time with them. I told him we'll try to get down there to one of their Saturday workouts and hang out with them, do the same thing, visit, drop in.
Do you think it's pretty beneficial being the only gym of that type in the area?
Yeah, but it is kind of specialty too, you know.
Yeah.
Especially for our area. Our area here, you see a lot of people come through high school. They've played football and they're more on the side of let's go see how much we can bench press. You know? That's not really what we're about. We're not about like how much can you lift, how much can you bench press, how much can you deadlift. We're more about like let's find something to get you through life. You know what I mean? Let's make life easier. Functional fitness, so functional to your everyday. And do we have stuff programmed in like bar muscle ups and handstand push ups and stuff? It's there, but it's not necessary. You know, if you have no desire to do that skill, if you have no desire to do double unders with a jump rope, you don't have to do that. You could scale that back. I mean, it's just improving your everyday life and the movement that you have.
Yeah, just so you can be healthy throughout your whole life.
Absolutely,
yeah. What about, you were talking about your classes there. So you got the classes, and do you also do private training too? Do you do any of that too?
We do, yeah. We've got one primary coach that does the personal training, Tara. She does the majority of the class coaching. Like I coach usually 2 evenings a week. I fill in. If anybody's out, I try to help fill in. We've got 2 other coaches. Nick coaches on Tuesday and Thursday mornings. Tara coaches the rest. And then she does personal training throughout the day. So She's probably not full time, but she's not far from it. But she does a lot of personal training. I think she's back up to 6 or 7 clients now that we train. We lost a few with the transition, people that were training with the previous owners.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And we lost a few on that transition, but we're starting to build back up and get her some business.
Do you see a sorry there?
No, you're good.
Do you see a high turnover rate, or is it? Are you seeing most of the people that get in there and get started with you all, like in the classes and stuff too? Are they pretty much sticking with it all the time?
I think we're just now starting to see like some people coming in with us. And maybe it's just a trust factor, but we're starting to build our stuff up. I told him we was on the way out here, and I said sometimes it seems like we take 2 steps forward and 1 step back. Like we'll pick up 2 members, lose 1. There is a turnover there, but most of it is for reasons like one of them is living in Kingston most of the time now, and she's back here every once in a while. She still drops in. One of them put her membership on hold because her daughter plays softball and she's traveling around.
Yeah, just
softball. So,
life comes at everybody.
yeah, and it's seasons of life that change. So I mean, I think it's been going really well. We've grown some since we've had it. We've picked up past 2 weeks we've picked up 2 new members, so that's that's pretty good. Like the 24/7 side, it seems like there's somebody new all the time there. It's a lot lower price point though.
Yeah,
and it's the commitment issue. This in the CrossFit, we'll just call it CrossFit, in that style of gym, it's a life commitment. I mean, it's more of a commitment than the 24-hour gym, because you work out on your own time. You go whenever you want to at our 24/7 gym. But now at our New Horizon, that is set at certain times of the day where it's all coach led, and those are, it's a big commitment.
Yeah, you got to be pretty disciplined to keep showing up at the same time every day. And if you're just working out by yourself at the gym, at just a normal gym, and you miss, you wake up late in the morning, you don't want to go in. If you miss and you ain't got somebody holding you accountable for it, you might not even think nothing else of it.
Right. We all hold each other accountable. Trust me. On those that 5 a.m. class, if you're not there when you've signed up and you're not there, they're texting, they're calling. It's like, hey man, where you at? What's going on? Are you gonna come? Are you gonna come? I
That's great to have, though. I mean, you got to have that, and some people, a lot of people need that too. Yeah. They need to be held accountable like that to keep going.
That's that community aspect too. Plays in. I've got friends in there that I had never met before I joined New Horizon, and it's lifelong friends that I could call upon to do anything at any time. So that's that community aspect, and it extends past the gym.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of people don't think about that. A lot of people think, you're just going in there and you're just going to work out and you're trying to get in shape. But the added aspect of that is the social aspect. You're probably going to make friends, especially in a group class like that, in that kind of setting. You're going to make friends.
Oh, yeah.
And like you said, and be friends outside of the gym.
Mm-hmm. It's a little intimidating for folks when they think about a group class also. But, what we try to make sure and emphasize is the different levels that there is in there, and the different types of people, the different people with different shapes and forms and strengths and everything. We've got it all in there. So you don't have to be intimidated that somebody's going to think you're weak or think you're not in good shape or maybe carrying a little bit too much weight or something like that. Because we've got it all.
Yeah.
And there's nobody judged in there at all. I mean, if you're the last one to finish, you've probably got the biggest cheering section of any place that you could ever go. Because nobody, if I'm the first and done, I'm over here trying to get Tyler to push harder to get finished. And then when he's finished, we're over here at the next one that's down and pushing everybody to try to finish, especially in those timed event type ones where, you got so much exercise to do in a certain amount of time. You have a huge cheering section in this gym, that's for sure.
And that's great to have.
Yeah, there's a competitive factor that comes in there too with a lot of us. There's some in there that they don't care to be competitive. They don't want to be competitive, and that's fine too. You don't have to be. I mean, you get in there, you've got a lead workout. You give us an hour of your day, we're going to try to make it your best hour. But now I'm bad for it. I get in there and I'm working out beside Kim here or whoever, and we'll be pushing rep for rep, on some some workout doing burpees over a box or something, and it's just an all-out race, you'll gut yourself for it. At the end of the day, you're better for it. You've put yourself in a mind space that you didn't think you could get to a lot of times. And
Yeah, that's like we were saying. It's great to have somebody holding you accountable, but it's also great to have somebody competing against you because it just makes both of you better.
yeah,
It helps you to push yourself more. What about take us through how your 1 hour workout? What does that look like roughly?
so first thing every day, we've got announcements every day. So we go over what we've got going on in the gym. We always have a quote or a verse of the day. I dig those up. I try to throw in at least 2 to 3 Bible verses a week because we definitely want to thank God for everything that we've got. I mean, He's put us in a position that we can do what we do, not just physically, but being able to have the opportunity there. We definitely want to give glory. But we always try to get a verse of the day, quote of the day in there every day, motivational of some sort. We've got a warm-up that you go through that's going to be based around what the strength portion or the workout is every day. Coming out of that warm-up, typically, usually, there's a strength portion, whether that be bench press, deadlift, squat, sandbag carries. I mean, it could look like anything a lot of days.
Mm-hmm.
It may be Olympic lift focused where you're doing complexes of clean and jerks or snatches or something. And then you'll roll right into a Metcon, what we call a Metcon, and it may be a 20-minute based workout. It may be interval style workout. It differs every day. I mean, it's just constantly varied. There's a cool down portion, so if there's time there in the class, then there's a stretching and cool down portion after that Metcon. Now, a lot of times we run a 50-minute class. Our programming's designed for 60 minutes, so I kind of got to jam it down 10 minutes, and 10 minutes don't sound like a lot, but we're fitting a lot of stuff in 50 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You're fitting in warm-ups, a strength portion of a workout, and a 20 to 30-minute Metcon. So, I mean, we're jamming a lot of stuff in that time frame, and then we have pliability to the side. A lot of people will go do that after, but once we get done with that Metcon, most of the time we break class down. We got encouraging words to say. We give a fit fam on 3, and you're out the door. I mean, like I said, you give us an hour, we try to make it the best time of your day.
And you said so that's every 6 days a week. Is that what that is? Monday through Saturday?
Yeah, we just have one class on Saturday at 8 a.m.
One on Saturday at 8 a.m.
We have an open gym every day from 4:30 to 5:30, where if you're wanting to work on something specific, if your goal is to do pull-ups or chin-ups or so many push-ups, or if you're wanting to squat a certain amount, you can come in during that hour of open gym and work specifically on things that is your goal, your personal goal. So that open gym is that time. And on Saturdays, from 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock, we have open gym again, where you can come in there and use equipment.
So you just work out on your own and just do whatever you think you need to be improving at.
Yep. There'll be coaches there. It won't be a coach led, but if you had a question or needed a spot or something like that, we're there to assist during those open gym times.
So let's talk a little about the gym, the Mad gym you all bought. Also on the commercial side, how did that come about?
Well,
it was about as fast as the other purchase of the gym. He just the owner now, he just called Tyler up, and was like, "Hey, will you guys be interested in buying this gym?" And Tyler's like, "Yeah, we've talked about it, maybe 2 or 3 years down the road." And he said, "I'm about ready to get out." So we've jumped right into that. We've got a lot of plans for that gym. Nothing really changing of the structure of that gym. It'll still be a 24/7. Come anytime you want to, but we're going to try to make some improvements. It's going to try to upgrade some equipment, make it a little better atmosphere and a little better surroundings, and just play on what is already there. Just like we did with the other gym. I mean, we focused and kept just going on the new horizon. Mad Fitness will be just under a new brand, a new name, and continue right on.
You're going to keep everything that you like that's still working, but kind of tweak it and make it your own.
Yep.
Yeah, there was big rumors when we first bought it that was like, they're going to take and take everything out of here and make it a big CrossFit gym. And, you know, we were trying to shut those down left and right. So we had to make a Facebook post on that. Like, we have no intentions of doing that.
You've already got the CrossFit gym.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I try to tell people is like, fitness and exercise looks different for everybody, right? So you may not enjoy high intensity workout. You may enjoy running. You may enjoy powerlifting, bodybuilding, Olympic lifting. Whatever you enjoy, you have to enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
If not, you're not going to do it. When it comes to exercise, if you don't enjoy what you're doing, you're not going to stick with it. So I enjoy high intensity CrossFit style workouts. That's what I enjoy doing. But there's guys out there that have no desire to touch that. So this gives us an opportunity to provide fitness to people who, you know, don't enjoy that high intensity, but we can continue, you know, training people and helping people, having a space for people to go to, that maybe just want to run on a treadmill or go in there and do some powerlifting or something, you know.
Just helps you branch out a little bit more.
And we see the need. We especially see the need, and I do personally as I grow older, the need to keep moving, both physically and mentally. And the mental aspect of this and staying strong, keeping your core strong, keeping your legs strong. As I age and I see so many folks older than me who have not kept that going, and that's the breaking point. If you don't have the leg strength to get up off the couch, then you're not going to get up off the couch, and there's where you stay, and there's where you die. So we're trying to open that up to whatever aspect you have. If you like Tyler said, if you like the high intensity workouts, we've got it. If you just want to go up there and walk on a treadmill or use an elliptical, we've got that too. We just want to make sure that everybody of all age has some place to exercise, because we all know that if we don't keep moving, that's where we're going to be. We got to keep moving.
Yeah, you see that a lot in older people. Like you just said there, they even ones who worked out when they were younger, they get to some point that they quit, and then if you don't just keep working out consistently, you go downhill pretty quick. It's a lot easier to lose it than it is to get it back, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
What about, I seen where you had that like 400 square foot room or something
Yes.
you were renting. Did you get that rented, or are you
We're meeting with some folks now. What we're wanting to do is kind of broaden again what we have to offer. I've got a lady coming to maybe do a yoga class in that, so we can reach out and offer that type of exercise for the folks who want that. We want to be able to offer and supply whatever the need is for folks. If there's a need out there and it has to do with fitness of any style, we want to be able to offer it.
The only thing we don't really have at this point is we don't have yoga. We're trying to get there. We've been trying for a while to get somebody to come in and do yoga, but nutrition, that's one thing that we don't have that was previously there, was the nutrition coaching. And I tell people that I know enough about nutrition to help you, but not for you to pay me to help you. You know?
Yeah.
So, which is a huge factor. So we try to encourage people, that plays a big factor in your recovery. People that come in and they're like, I want to lose 40 pounds. Well, I mean, you can come work out every day, but your nutrition is going to play a huge factor in that as well. So that's another thing we encourage, but we don't have that nutrition coaching piece. And hopefully that's something we could get in the future as well to be able to help.
So are you looking for somebody to come in that's already a nutritionist, or are any of you all thinking about going and getting certified in that? Or
we've not got that deep in it. I mean, at some point in time, if we get the time to go there, we've got people in there like Tara. She knows how to eat. Mm-hmm. We all know how we need to eat. It'd just be about getting trained to where we can tell you this is what you need to do, and we can meal plan for you and things like that. It's just about having the time to take the classes to do it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, well, what's it been like juggling a full-time job and then now getting into two different gyms? How has that been for both of you all?
Well, thankfully, the careers we've chosen give us some flexibility. The hours are pretty good. If something comes up, we can, if scheduled, run to the gym to take care of something, midday, as long as we get, back to work. But most of it's been in the evenings and on the weekends. It's a good place. Tyler's two sons, which are my grandsons, they love the gym. They can run and play and have a big time up there. So that's good. I mean, they're going to be raised up and be little gym rats, I'm sure. But that helps. The fact that they enjoy it, and we can work together up there. So far, it's been just pretty easy. It's just been a fit. It seems like.
Just like it's meant to be.
Yeah.
There's days that are exhausting. I mean, there's days that you're like, man, this is tough. Like I said, it's one of the hardest things I've ever done, but I've loved every minute of it. I told my wife, I was like, I don't want out. About a month in, I was probably like, man, this is just crushing me, and I guess I just hit that point where I had to adapt and overcome, but and I just said, as hard as it is, like, I wouldn't trade it for nothing right now.
It's definitely a 24-hour job, 24/7, owning two different businesses like that. How do you think your background in finance has helped you on the business side of it?
I mean, when it come to the banking side, I knew how to handle a lot of that stuff. When it come to building out our financial sheets and balance sheets, I knew how to handle that stuff and to prepare that. But I mean, as far as running the gym, just a normal business aspect. I mean, and we're both pretty familiar in that area, so that's something that we bring to the table. Kim's farm forever. He's had to sit and work that side for a long time. So
don't let him sell it short. The technology side of this, he has been who we have depended on solely, because I am weak there. Now I can mop floors, I can clean bathrooms, I can do maintenance, but when it comes to setting up these spreadsheets and setting up everything for the internet and everything for the Facebook pages and all that kind of stuff, Tyler does an excellent job with that, and that's a huge part of this business. Getting it out there where people see these podcasts, what you're doing, Instagram, Facebook, all of that is just huge.
Yeah, social media now, it's the number one place for marketing, isn't it?
Man, that's probably the hardest part about it for me is the social media, and it's crucial. I mean, it's vital, but most weeks I'm like, I got to kind of draw a line of like where I got to take care of what's absolutely necessary, and then try to have to fit social media in there. I'm not great at the whole creator part of it. You know what I mean? I've been on social media forever. I can get on there and like and share a post, but at the same time, to be a creator and put this stuff together. We first started, I made a couple YouTube videos, and I was like, we'll go this route and have some YouTube out there too, tie some links in. That's tough. I mean, I filmed a video in 45 minutes. It took me 3 hours of editing to put it on there.
Yeah, there's a lot to the social media side of it that people don't see. I mean, you just, whenever somebody makes a post, you see that post, but it could be, like you said, that 45-minute video, and it took you, 3 hours to edit it. People don't see that, and they don't really think about that when they're watching it. Yeah. But you definitely, I've noticed, doing this podcast and editing these or whatever, which I haven't had to do much editing lately, thank goodness, since I started videoing, because I wanted to get good enough before I started videoing to not have to edit that much, because I knew, because you edit the audio, you can edit audio and you can cut whatever out and make it sound good. It's pretty simple, but you get to edit in video and you cut some audio, then it don't look right. Oh, yeah. And, the social media side, it can really be time consuming if you let it be. It could take up a whole week by itself if you let it be.
And that's where the world revolves now, social media. Advertising, promoting, that's where it lands, is on social media now. And that's probably one of our weakest points we've got right now. I think it's been, I made some posts this morning. It's the first time in like 2 weeks I've made Facebook posts and Instagram posts and tried to push that. It's somewhere definitely that we need work, and I struggle with it, but I'm figuring out slowly but surely, kind of how to do it.
Yeah, learning as you go a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's definitely something you've got to have, though.
Absolutely.
I seen you all just made a new Facebook page for the NHA 24/7, right?
Yeah, we were struggling to get the admin changed over to me for the old one, the Mad Fitness page, so I could just go in and change name and stuff. So they couldn't get us changed over, so I ended up just making new social media for it too. When we took over the other gym, we made all new social media for it. So it was kind of, I mean, it was starting from scratch. You know, I had to pretty well build it from scratch. And
Yeah, I was wondering why you didn't take over that one page, but I guess that explains it there.
yeah. And the previous owners of New Horizon he's got a lot in there that was youth driven that he wanted to take with him because he intends to continue youth training. And, you know, I'm fine with that. We probably lean more towards adults now. We do have a youth class. It's kind of dwindling. We've not promoted as much as we should. And I'm all for the youth, 110%. I mean, I've got 2 boys there that I train my oldest one a little bit here and there. He plays baseball, so we kind of channel his training towards baseball. But we don't promote that youth class like we should, and it's kind of dwindling down. We're all for it, though. I mean, it's at 3:30 every day, so they're in there for an hour. We program a workout for them 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Them kids get a lot out of it. They got games that they play in there. You know, they have fun while they're there, and hopefully we can help kids out with that as well, you know.
Yeah, I think that's huge, getting kids in there and getting kids started on fitness too, because now you see, we've talked about it before in other podcasts. Like when I was in school, we had PE every day, you know, every single day we had a PE class. And then when I got in probably like 7th or 8th grade, they took it away. And you just go like once every 3 days. Now I think they're lucky they go like once a week now maybe.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, I know at school you have to learn the book side of it. You know, that's the main thing. You're going to school. But a lot of those kids, they just get home and they sit down and they play video games or they watch TV as soon as they get home, and they're not getting any kind of physical activity out of school. So I feel like if they just had an hour a day in school, it would make a tremendous difference on the overall health of the whole country.
Yeah, and that you said play video games. Mine stay on a tablet constantly. So, like, if I can get them off that tablet for 30, 45 minutes to do something, and I think
mine love them too.
Every kid's got a tablet now, and they're playing Minecraft or watching YouTube Kids, and it's just, I think mine's gone to watch the Minecraft movie right now or something. So, like, they could sit there with those iPads literally all day long and not move from them if you let them. So, and I'm sure that's how a lot of kids have gotten now. But, you know, if you can get a kid an hour away from a screen to where they're moving and being active, that's a positive always.
So that's the thing, is a lot of parents don't care. They would just rather throw their kid. And I mean, my kids, you know, they sit on the iPads. We've kind of tried to get them down to where when we start cooking supper or something, well, that'll be their iPad time, and they can get on there and do whatever they want to for that, you know, 30 minutes, hour, whatever it is. But a lot of kids, they just go home, and their parents would rather them be sitting on that iPad so they don't have to deal with them. Yeah, they're quiet in there, and they don't have to deal with them. They're away from them.
One of the best babysitters.
Yeah, it's become the babysitter nowadays.
Absolutely.
What do you think about on the marketing side? You know, you can market the CrossFit gym as being the only one around, but how challenging has it been on the commercial gym side? Because there's other commercial gyms around. How do you all kind of want to set yourself apart?
Well, I mean, we've not really dug into a marketing plan for it. Like, it was pretty sudden too. We've just had it for a week and a half now. So
has it just been a week and a half? I knew it just been not long, a couple weeks or something.
We've just bought it, so we've not dug into how to market it. And really, I mean, my thoughts are, my goal is, like, we just provide the facility and try to make it as clean, efficient, supply what's needed in there for people to come in and work out. I'm not going to go out there and try to bash any other gym by no means. At one time I've worked out at about all of them, and they were great to me while I was there.
Mm-hmm.
I have nothing bad to say about anybody that runs any of the other gyms or anything about any of the other gyms.
Mm-hmm.
We do have a large facility, probably one of the larger ones in the county, space wise. So we've got that in our favor, but I have nothing bad to say about anybody out there. And I don't, that's been a tough factor for me. And I told him when we first bought it, I was like, now we're going to be in competition with these
Right.
people that I like. Like,
yeah, people you're friendly with and you know them and stuff.
The New Horizon side, we wasn't in competition with anybody, right?
Yeah.
We're the only gym like that. But now we are in competition, and I that's different for me.
Makes it a little awkward, don't it?
Yeah, because I've worked out around all of them. I've talked to all of them, and honestly, when I was at the gym across from the courthouse there, they treated me great. They give me first responder discount because I'm a volunteer firefighter, so they give me first responder discount. She took care of me when I wasn't able to come for 2 weeks. She was like, "Hey, just extend it a couple weeks. You can pay me in a couple weeks for it." So they were great when I was there too. So.
Yeah, on the marketing side of that, it'll pretty much market itself, continue right along with the way it's always been. We just want to make it clean, safe, good place, good atmosphere for people to come work out whenever they want to work out.
We want to promote that we're there, of course.
Yep.
Honestly, they offer something that we don't. They offer drop-in rates. Like, you can go drop in by not being a member, pay like $3 a day and work out or something if you want to. We're member only, so not really drop-ins. We do have it to where if you got somebody visiting family that wants to exercise, if you give us a call, we'll fix something up so they can come in and work out with you, or they can come in and exercise while they're visiting. But it's, for the most part, we're member only.
Are you all going to offer personal training there too at that gym?
Not through us.
Not through us.
There's some trainers that work out there, and they've got some clients, I believe, but more or less they're kind of on their own. Like, they pay their memberships, they get together in the gym, what they do in the gym. Our focus as far as personal training is more in that New Horizon side.
So you're just letting those trainers, if they're training at that gym, you're just letting everybody just buy a membership and they're just kind of getting together like they're just workout partners.
Right, yeah.
Yep.
I don't think there's many trainers there, 1 or 2 now. And we've got Sergio. He's staying in that gym with us. At one time, they had like a small sponsorship there for him. Basically, they comp his membership. But I've talked to Sergio. He's going to stay with us, stay on board with NHA 24/7. Got him some merch on the way, so that he's got a show coming up in like 8 weeks, I think, 7-8 weeks out for, I believe it's like an IFBB Pro qualifier or something. So he's got that coming up. He was like, I'd like to be wearing your shirt whenever I go. And
he's gonna represent for you.
I was like, I'll get you some. We'll get him in here.
Yeah,
so
for sure. That's good advertising.
He's staying there, and he's a trainer. I think he might train a couple people. So
what? I know you were talking about you preferred the high intensity workouts. Are you all going to work out any at the gym, or you all just kind of like working out over there mostly?
I'd say mostly. For me, mostly I'll probably stay at New Horizon do my workout. It's just laid out better for what I do.
Mm-hmm.
But I can branch off and do some what's called functional bodybuilding workouts. It's not necessarily just like extreme hypertrophy or bodybuilding or extreme powerlifting. But if there's a day that I can't make it out there to get in, then I'll go to the other gym and work out. But it's not that I'm favor one place more over the other. It's just laid out better for what I do,
Yeah, like you said, you got something that suits everybody, and that's just what suits you better.
Yeah.
Usually if we drop in there, we're doing some paperwork or picking up some memberships or something, and there's somebody we know is bench pressing that day, we might fall in, do a few reps.
Show them up a little bit.
No, I don't know how to show them up. We just kind of fall in, do a little exercise. If somebody's on the preacher curl, we might do a few curls with them or something. That'll probably be the extent of just somebody I know, and just drop in, hit a few reps with them, and get back to work.
Now, Tyler, are you doing the cold plunges like Kim likes to do in the morning?
No, not like he does. He's religious on the cold plunge, and it's great. I've done it, and I will do it. It's not like I just hate it. It is miserable for me going in. Like, it's miserable going in. Coming out's the best feeling in the world. You come out of that water and everything relaxes, and it's. We've got the sauna though at the other gym. I love the sauna and the heat.
That's something we do have available at New Horizon. I mean, you don't have to be a member of New Horizon. You can purchase cold plunge or sauna.
Oh, really?
Days,
okay.
30-minute or hour saunas. And if you want to initiate or build into the cold plunge along with the sauna, that's available also. But now the sauna the cold plunge has been great for me. The anti-inflammatory, the recovery aspect of it for my muscles as I'm getting older, it has been amazing. And like Tyler said, I am religious at it. I mean, I do it at least 5 days a week. And some days I would do it 2 times a day, pre-workout and post-workout. And it's amazing for me what it does for my body.
So you like to do that? I mean, you just get up. Is that kind of the first thing you go into?
In the wintertime, when I can do it at home, when it's not hard for me to keep the water cold, I just have a tank outside. I get straight out of bed at 4 a.m. and I go straight to the cold plunge.
It's a great way to wake up, ain't it?
And I do that, and then I'll do my morning routine. Then I go to the gym and exercise for 50 minutes to an hour, and then I'll cold plunge as recovery then.
So that cold plunge you all have at the gym, you just like set a temperature on it, and it gets down to that?
It goes through a chiller. It has a chiller on it, and it runs through a refrigerative unit, and we can set it. Now, if you're doing some therapeutic work and you've got an injury and you need 40 degrees, I can set that to 40 degrees, and just within 15 minutes, the water will be at 40 degrees. And right now, from what we've been studying and seeing, around the 50 to 52 degree is good recovery, good anti-inflammatory, and good recovery temperature. And that for 3 to 5 minutes at a time is kind of the base for that.
What do you like to do with that now that you've got used to it pretty good?
52, I stay around 52, 53 degrees, and I stay 5 minutes at a time.
And you've really seen the difference in that?
I can feel the differences.
How long have you been doing it for now?
That cold plunge has been there probably since I have started. I've been doing that for about 3 years, the cold plunge.
You do some contrast once a week or something?
Yep.
So
once a week I do the sauna. I'll go 12 minutes in the sauna, 5 minutes in the cold plunge, and then back to 15 minutes in the sauna.
I love a sauna. I feel like after you get out of that sauna, you feel like a new person after you get out of the sauna.
And you do the cold plunge too. Like when you get out of it, it feels amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can have just a bone crusher workout and everything be tight, and you're like, oh man, I'm going to hurt tomorrow. And you get in that cold plunge, when you get out, it's just like your whole body relaxes. I like the feeling of it. It's just tough. It's tough to say I'm going to crawl down in 50-degree water. I don't know how he crawls out of bed and gets in 30-degree water.
So that's the key to the type of exercise that we do at New Horizon. It's not only physically challenging, but now it's mental. I mean, you've got to take your mind into places that you've not been before. I mean, you're pushing to the limits on some of those exercises that you can get into a black hole to be able to push your body as far as some of us push our body in some of those exercises. It's the same way with the cold plunge. Once you get your mind, the control of your mind to be able to just put your body into that cold water, it ain't nothing.
What's that workout you all talk about? You do sometimes. I think I've seen people on Facebook. They call it like Murph or something. Is that what's called?
Yeah, so we'll be doing that again Memorial Day weekend, that Saturday, and it's pretty well open to anybody that wants to come. Well, sign-ups are going on right now for it if people are wanting to buy a shirt. So we've got sign-ups at both gyms, or if anybody out there just wants to holler at us, we can sign them up and get them in there. It's community-driven. It's a hero workout, memorial workout for Lieutenant Michael Murphy, who was killed in action, and it's a tough one. It's 1 mile run, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 air squats, and another mile run.
That's why I was thinking he's talking about the mental side of it too. That made me think of that. I was like, you have to be pretty mentally tough to do that one.
You go to a dark place there.
As you well know, everybody's limit's different, right? So like you may come in there and the place you push your mind to may be rough for you, and this person can push deeper, which is why in the sport of CrossFit, you've got elite athletes. Those guys can handle pain better than anybody. You know what I mean? They can black out. They can go to places that you and I can't get to.
Yeah, for sure.
And they train constantly. They recover constantly. They're just dialed in. The sport of CrossFit's came so far that you just have to be used to. You train. You got a shot that you could go to the games. Now you have to be an elite athlete. You have to be dedicated to training multiple times a day in multiple facets, different areas and in different domains. You have to have your nutrition dialed in, your sleep dialed in, that recovery portion. And, I'd say most all of them are doing the cold plunge and the the sauna and the contrast and this and that. I mean, but they can take their mind space to somewhere else that I can't get there. I've been to places. I'm sure that I've been in the place that they can get to, but it takes a whole lot more to put them there.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. They're on another level physically and mentally.
Yeah, yeah.
You were talking about the CrossFit growing. It really has. It's crazy how much it's grew the past over time. Like you said, you before you could just train and get there. Now they're all elite athletes, and it's really continuing to grow. I feel like.
Yeah, and after last year's games, there was a death in the games last year, and there was a lot of controversy over it and how it worked. And I don't know what the sport of CrossFit looks like moving forward. I'm definitely a fan of that sport. I mean, I probably watch CrossFit as much as I watch basketball or baseball. I mean, probably watch it more than any other sport.
It's pretty fun to watch. I've watched some of them.
We just went to the Mayhem Classic this past weekend and watched it. Me and my wife did, and it's intense. It was a good test of fitness and it was an in-person qualifier, first one for the year. So, whoever wins that qualifies for the games. It was good to watch. It was something cool to watch, and I enjoy going to watch those competitions. We've watched quite a few of them live. We've been to Ohio and watched them. We've been Nashville. We was in Cookeville last weekend. There's one coming up in Knoxville I can't make because I've got some other stuff going on. But the sport is growing. There's another thing going on called the World Fitness Project, but I don't know how it affects and how they play together. I do follow it to an extent. There's some controversy in CrossFit and what's coming next for it and what it looks like in the future. And I think that it's kind of at that breaking point. Like, it's either going to take off into this sport where it continues forever. You know what I mean? Basketball, baseball, football,
Mm-hmm.
those sports continue forever. I think it's at that point where it's going to merge into something huge, which it is huge. By all means, it's huge. It's worldwide. But it's either going to continue and grow or we're going to see it taper down. I hope we don't see it taper down because we might not be a CrossFit affiliate, but, I still support the original means of what CrossFit was, and that was community and fitness, high intensity in multiple domains, just functional work for people, past the elite level. CrossFit's not all about the elite athletes. I enjoy the sport. I love to watch it, but it's not all about the elite level athletes. Yeah, they call them boxes, but every gym you go to that's CrossFit, you're going to see older people in there moving with intention and functionality, being able to sit down and stand up, being able to get up off the ground and do burpees,
It's just a great full body workout for anybody.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, you said you were affiliated with the Mayhem, though, in Cookeville. That's Rich Froning, right?
Yep.
And he's the CrossFit champion a bunch of times, correct? Was that him?
5 or 6 years, yeah.
Yeah.
3 years individual and like 3 years team or something. Actually, when we lived in Cookeville and went to college, me and my wife, they were the manager of our apartments. His wife Hillary was the manager of our apartments.
Oh, really?
Rich was there all the time, and we watched him. And that was the year that he won the games for the first time. And they moved out. We talked to him all the time then, and now that it's kind of come full circle. At that time, when I seen Rich, I had that mentality like I can't do CrossFit. Look at this guy. You know what I mean? And
you were looking at the best of the best, though.
yeah, I mean, absolutely. He wins the games. He's the fittest in the world, and continues to win. And then it's kind of came full circle. I learned that anybody can do it. It's not just elite athletes. Like, that's what you see on TV, and that's probably why it's intimidating to people when you think CrossFit it's intimidating because you see the elite.
Yeah, you see people like him, and you think, I'm never going to be like that, so I probably shouldn't get into this because this is what everybody's going to look like that's doing that. But then you come watch a workout at your all's place, and you see that's not the case.
See me.
in our open, we done the open workouts there, and we had like Friday Night Lights style, so we broke it down. We'd have heats for people to go, and everybody participated for the most part. I mean, we had the lady there that's 80-year-old, and she was doing the CrossFit open workouts. Scaled to her level, but we can, like I said, we can meet anybody's fitness where it's at. And
was back then when you met Rich Froning, was that when you were kind of first introduced to CrossFit, or did you?
That's when I first learned about CrossFit. I did not do it then. It was like, so that would have been 2011.
That's when you first heard about it, though.
2010, 2011, right in there when he was first winning the games. Yeah, when I first met him and seen him, and I'm like, this guy, he's a freak athlete.
He's like, what are you doing, right?
Yeah. So then I didn't start CrossFit or that style of working out, and I was just following like the website workouts and coming up with my own stuff and had no intention on anything or purpose towards anything I was doing. I didn't start till I was out of college. It was probably 2016, 2017. To be honest with you, I was calf roping and I was getting whipped like physically. I mean, and I wanted to lose some weight because I was overweight, and I was like, man, I'm stepping down off of a horse to tie a calf, and I'm weighing 240 pounds. Like, that's not good on every joint in my body. So I started it for that, and then ended up quitting calf roping, quit riding horses and everything altogether pretty much, and just bore in, which I'm like that. I'm an addictive personality, so like I get onto something and it's all in. But I got into it. Then when we took this gym over, we looked at a few of the different like affiliate style programming workouts that they'll send you programming. And the more I looked, I got into, which I've been to Mayhem. I was a member at Mayhem for a little while, back in like 17 or 18 or something. But when I looked at their programming, it was just the easiest. It was the best fit for our gym that I could adapt the easiest for our athletes. They're close. So like we were at that Mayhem Classic. They had an affiliate dinner. We went down there. I mean, we were able to go there and talk to Rich. We talked to Darren. We hung out with them for a while. We're going to try to work something out we do a memorial workout in March. We're going to try to work something out for next year that we either go down there and do something at Mayhem for our gym, or Rich comes up here to our gym to work out. So that's something me and him talked about while we were there. So it's in the works. Don't know that it's going to happen, but we're going to try to line that up.
Have you seen that video of Rich's home gym? Have you seen that where that guy does that? It's a YouTube video of his home gym tour. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, his barn down there.
Yeah, his barn.
Massive
Yeah.
barn. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the setup for a home setup. That's crazy.
His home gym barn's bigger than like either of our gyms.
That's crazy, ain't it?
Oh yeah.
I guess you can do that though if you're the 5-time champion.
Yeah, and he's probably like
or 8-time, whatever he is.
Just his commercial, like, well, his gym, the affiliate, the Mayhem or CrossFit Mayhem, it's probably like top 1% in the world. Like they're as far as space and what they have there. I mean, it's
he's got a lot of the top athletes moved to Cookeville just to train there, didn't they?
Yeah. I mean, like Tia Toomey, she moved there for a while and worked out, and Matt Frazier was there for a while and worked out. And now he's got Austin Hatfield, which is crushing it right now. He's got Haley Adams. Like, yeah, he's got 6 or 7 or 8 down there.
Of the top people in the world.
Yeah, they've kind of got their own section off to the side they work out in.
Oh yeah. They're doing a whole nother level of stuff.
When I was there, they done their own workouts, but they were kind of out front. You know, like you walk in and it was nothing to see the elite athletes up there working out, and you're going in and going to class. Now they've got their own area back in the corner, but you still see them in Cookeville all the time. If you're hanging out in Cookeville, it's nothing to see an elite CrossFit athlete.
Yeah,
you know?
It's just normal.
Yeah, and Rich has brought that there to CrossFit, which is close to here. So, you know, it's probably blew that type of CrossFit and that type of fitness up around here.
For sure. What about you, Kim? When were you first introduced to it? Was it when you first started going to New Horizon or before that?
During COVID.
During COVID?
When the gym shut down for COVID, Tyler had a gym in his garage, and I just started going over there with him and working out with him a little bit, and just really fell in love with the whole aspect of it. And then after COVID and they opened up at the new location where they're at now, I started going there, and I've been hooked ever since. I mean, it's just the style of it is just it's a fit for me, and the continuous change. You know, I don't just go in, you know, every Monday and work arms and work biceps or triceps, and then next day work chest, and then the next day work, you know, it's a full body workout, you know, every day when we go in there. And I like the coach led. When I tried to exercise or train on my own, and I used to go to Mad Fitness, I went there for years, and when I would spend more time trying to figure out what I needed to do or which machine I needed to be on than I would actually exercising. So when I go in there, and you've got to build a trust for the platform and the program that's been assigned, and you build that trust in that because you see what it's doing. And then, I mean, I go in there on Monday morning and they tell me what to do, and I do it. And they show me what to do, and they're there to help me to make sure I don't hurt myself, to make sure I'm moving correctly, make sure I'm lifting correctly, make sure I'm going through the movements correctly. And our coaches are trained well enough that they can see if I'm having a bad morning, if I didn't get enough rest the night before, they can pick up on that just by the way I'm moving, and it'd be like, "You having a little trouble today, Kim? Let's drop down and wait just a little, you know." So they see that, they pick up on how you're moving to keep you from getting hurt, and that's a key that I had never had before. I'd always hurt myself when I'd try to work out by myself because I didn't have the knowledge to exercise properly.
Yeah, I think that's a big problem with people starting out
Yep,
with
it can
beginners.
hurt.
They just go in there and they don't have the form,
Yep.
and they just watch somebody do it and they try to do it, and it's a lot different watching somebody in a video and then actually having somebody tell you in person what you're doing wrong.
Yep.
Yeah, when I first started doing CrossFit out of my garage, I was just throwing together whatever. Nothing made sense. I didn't study into it. I was just like, oh yeah, let's throw these movements together. That's gonna hurt. But he mentioned one thing, and that's the advantage we have as the coaches was like the 24/7 side. You got to do one or two things. You got to follow a programming, or you got to study enough to be able to do your own programming, and that applies to any bodybuilding, powerlifting. You have to have something to do. Like you walk in the gym, you got to know kind of your basis and what you're going to do. You can go in there and say, yeah, I'm going to do bench press, but what accessory are you going to follow that up with? How are you going to keep from plateauing? How are you going to keep yourself safe? How are you going to keep growing, building muscle, or whatever your goal is for that? We might not be as specific goal oriented for our group class to where if you came to me in a personal training set and told me you wanted to do this, then we could work on that. But overall, we can keep you moving safe and efficient, and we've got a program there. You don't have to think about your workout all day. You don't have to think about it. You walk in and one's provided for you. So, a lot of people you see go in the gym who don't really know what they're doing, they go into a 24/7 style gym and they just go in there and move, bounce machine to machine with no intent. And definitely I'd say, I used to work out 24/7 style quite a bit before I ever got into CrossFit, but you don't see the progress as if you've got intention in your training.
Yeah, you need the structure for sure.
Yeah.
If you don't have the structure, like you said, you're just going to be bouncing around, or
Right.
or you're just going to be the type that you would just go in there. Every time you go in, you're just going to do like bench, deadlift, squat every day. And if you do something like that every time you work out, first off, you're not letting your body recover enough. If you're doing it every day, you're working out the same muscles. And also, you're going to get bored with that. And I think you're going to kind of get burned out on that because it's nice. I'm sure your all's workouts, they mix it up pretty good, I'm sure, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like we might see a repeat workout, we might say we repeat a workout tomorrow. It might be from last August. It's never the same. It's just constantly varied. So
And that always keeps people involved more, don't it?
and we do some strength cycles. So we see some monostructural right now. We're in a more of a muscular endurance or high rep bench press and squat cycle. So that strength piece looks the same week to week typically, but when it comes to that Metcon piece, it's always different.
How do you think it helps? I know, Kim, you've got into running some and running the 5Ks and stuff like that. How do you think that style of working out helps just for any kind of runners? Because there's a lot of people out there, running 5Ks, half marathons, marathons.
The thing about this type of training, I'm not going to be able to outrun a runner, and I'm not going to be able to outlift a lifter, an Olympic lifter. But I can run with a runner, and I can lift with a lifter. But now the lifter can't run with me, and the runner can't lift with me. But the type of training we've got, and the overall working your body from head to toe helps with the running because we do a huge amount of leg exercise. Like we talked about earlier, that's a key as you get older to being able to have leg strength to be able to just to get up. So we work legs a lot, which then helps with the endurance of the running with the 5Ks. The endurance part. And also going back to your mind, a 5K is just, that's just minor. You don't have to really get into a black space or a dark space in your mind. But now these 10K runners and these marathon runners, they go to a whole different level, and that's a different place in their mind.
For
to be able
sure.
to do that.
Yeah, when I run that Nashville marathon there a couple of years ago,
Yeah.
and I was good and just rolling on for probably about 17 miles. And I got to about mile 17, and they talk about hitting a wall, and it's true. You kind of hit a wall, you're like, man, and it was a struggle the last whatever 8 miles there, whatever it was, 9. Yeah, it was definitely a mental struggle. You have to keep yourself going, and you go down there. Like when I was running that one, and you're running and running, you're thinking, man, I've got to be getting close to the end. And then you'll see a big hill or something you got to go up, because it's really hilly, that one in Nashville. Yeah. And I seen somebody run that one in Nashville. I think it's this last time around. And they run the Nashville one, and then they run one in Memphis like a month later. And I think he run the Memphis one like an hour faster, just a month later, because it's a lot flatter out there. But yeah, definitely when you get into those marathons, the mental side of it comes into play big time.
Yeah, we hit a wall every day.
Yeah.
I mean, in our metcons, usually there's a wall you hit every day, and it's about how you approach it. Can you break through it, or is that where you shut down at, Or is that where you go into like maintenance and just let's get through it? Or can you keep pushing through that wall? The majority of our programming, you've got a wall you're going to hit every day of some sort, and breaking that barrier is what it's about. I mean,
and that's where it's nice to have other people there to help you over that wall.
Yep.
Yeah, we've got a lot of rowing, skiing, running built into our workouts too, so it helps with that aerobic capacity as well. And like he said, we're there to try to build well-rounded athletes, and we call everybody an athlete. If you're 80-year-old, you're an athlete in our gym. I mean, you're in there doing something that most people aren't doing at your age. So we're trying to build well-rounded athletes, not just a lifter, not just a runner. We're trying to build somebody that in life, whatever they encounter, they can overcome.
Do you all have a pretty good mixture of ages and men and women both in all the classes? Is it pretty mixed up?
Yeah, our youngest guy that's been in classes, he's came out of the youth program. He's 15, and we've got all the way up to 80-year-old. It's
so you stretch all the way then.
Yeah,
there.
Yeah.
It's almost 50-50 on the male to female ratio.
That's nice to have too. You don't have nothing dominated. It's like you said, it's just a real community atmosphere to it.
Yeah.
Kim, Tyler was talking a minute ago about his, rodeo background. You got a rodeo background too, a little bit, right?
Yes, that's what I've done most all my life. Rode horses, trained horses, calf roped and team roped, and back then I was young enough and active enough that I really didn't have to lift or train or exercise. It would have been better if I would have had someone to teach me. I probably could have, if I hadn't got hurt, I probably could have still been at my age, still rodeoing, if I would have had some training in my younger days. But back when I was coming along, nobody trained. Nobody didn't lift no weights or train. We just got out there and
there wasn't no CrossFit back then, was it?
CrossFit. We worked hard and we played hard, and we rodeoed all through the weekend, and that was it. Wasn't no. But now these athletes today, when you see folks rodeoing today, I mean, they train. I mean, they've got a specific type of training, for what they're doing, and a lot of it is CrossFit style training, because it's the full body.
And I guess what I was kind of thinking, the rodeo, it's got to be pretty high intensity too, correct?
Yeah, it is. It's fast paced, high intensity. All of those are like that. But the training available today that we didn't have, back in my time, we're talking about when I was heavy into it. We're talking about, in the 80s. Because man, I'm getting old.
You're showing your age there.
I'm getting old now, man.
Look at every sport from the 80s, though.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You look at
Golf. Look how golf
yeah.
has changed.
Golf.
You know, with the Masters going on right now, those guys are athletes today.
Yeah, they're working out all the time. You know, I guess I think it really started with Tiger Woods. I think he's the first one to really kind of lift weights and do all that.
I mean, well, last I looked before we started here, Rory was still leading. I mean,
Yeah.
that guy spent his life playing golf.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And rodeo, those guys have spent their life rodeoing now. Every sport that you look at now, and that's why these sports have progressed to what they are, and the professional side of them's progressed to what they are, is because they train from the time they can walk to do that sport.
Yeah.
You know, all the greats in all these sports have trained for that sport primarily. You know, CrossFit's another thing. You know, back in the day, like I said, there was people that you could just own a gym, work out once a day, you could go compete in the games. Not
that way
anymore.
now.
It's not like that now. You know, you've got to put the work in. Rodeo, same thing. Like, you got to put the work in. But everything seems like since the 80s probably is when that makes sense.
Yeah, all types of sports have really
Escalated to that specifically trained athletes for that event.
yeah, all the top people you see are, like you said, they're dedicating their whole lives to it.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, you know, I had a Jared Wells from practicing martial arts out there, and he talked about he opened the school up when he was a blue belt, and he said there's only like 2 black belts in the whole state, and now there's black belts in jiu-jitsu and all that everywhere. But you got guys now dedicating their whole lives to it. You see all these MMA fighters that you know, they grew up, and you've got 18 and 19-year-olds fighting professionally now.
MMA definitely changed that world.
Yes.
And the UFC changed that world. And that keeps progressing too. I used to watch it a lot more than what I do now, but like the progression you've seen throughout UFC as it grew, it was
Oh, yeah, it blew up.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing if you're in any other sport too, to come train, like you're saying, if you train that in the rodeo, anything. If you're an athlete in any other sport, it would be great to come out to New Horizons and do that kind of training. It's definitely going to help you in some way in your sport.
I didn't play football. I talked to a guy that played football. He used to train there. He's not now, and it's just time constraint for him. But he said, man, I can't imagine if when I was in high school playing football, if I would have been doing this type of training. He said, you would go in leaps and bounds above everybody. He said, if you're just, you know, he said, we went in and we bench pressed and we squatted and we'd clean some. But he said, if I was coming in doing this type of training, he said, then season hit, he said, you'd be going in with an advantage. And it's just that well-roundedness, you know.
Yeah, that's what we had Landon Baldwin on here. And, you know, he's like 6'7", 6'8", but he didn't start playing basketball till he was in 8th grade, and then he didn't really work out and stuff and watch his nutrition and stuff like that through high school. And he said, man, he just wishes he had knew back then what he knew now about the working out and the nutrition side of it. He said, he just wonders what he could have been having the build for that.
Right.
And, like after he got out of high school, he got, jacked there, and he could, throw it down, do whatever. It's like, where could you have been at if you'd done that before? And I think a lot of kids, that kind of goes back to them taking the PE and stuff away from the time they allocate to it away from the kids. It's like kids don't really know about the working out and the nutrition stuff, and they could really blow up athletically if they would do some of that.
Outside of sports, it's probably when you were in high school. I've heard Dad talk about they used to weight lift in PE.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Like they didn't have. We had a weight room that we never used whenever I was in PE. But like Dad's talked about that back when he was in high school, they had weightlifting as part of PE, and there was things you had to do weightlifting when you were in PE. That was out by the time I was there.
Yeah, I never had any of that.
I guess
I was
it's
in
way
grade
out.
school in the 70s when Kennedy brought on the whole
Here goes that age.
the whole aspect of getting kids moving. I mean, you had to be able to do like 50 setups. You had to be able to rope climb. You had to be able to do pull-ups. I mean, sit-ups, pull-ups, push-ups, and rope climb. You had to be able to do that to pass PE. It wasn't just playing, duck, duck, goose, in there. We trained when I was in grade school to be able to do push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, and rope climb.
Well, you lived through it. You look back on the pictures back then, like people saying, you don't really see any obese people like you do now. Was it like that? I mean, you go around, everybody was in pretty good shape.
Yep. monkey bars. I mean, you had to be able to go the distance of the monkey bars. Hand walk it.
Speaking of rope climbs, we have rope climbs
In our gym,
and it is the toughest thing to teach kids and new people that's never climbed a rope. Like, it's so hard teaching people how to climb a rope.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's tough.
Just gotta have the right technique for it. That goes back to knowing how to work out and knowing how to do stuff.
Exactly.
It's nice to have somebody who knows how to do it show you, or you're just guessing at it. Really.
Yeah.
I mean, I could climb a rope, but I wasn't using the proper technique. And once I've been trying to learn the proper technique, and it's easier. I mean, I was just mostly just muscling it up on my arms.
Yeah.
But now the technique to doing that is a whole lot easier. It takes a lot of stress off your arms.
Yeah, you can engage some other muscles there,
Yep.
can't you?
Yep.
Well, what's the future plans you all got? I mean, you just got this gym bought, and you're pretty new at the other gym too. What are y'all looking to do?
Just to continue on with what's been there, and we hope to continue that and be able to offer it and then expand some, as far as what we can offer folks. And just like we've talked about here, we hope to be able to get, more kids involved. We'll never forget the adults, because as we age and we're all aging together, being able to stay strong, just like we've talked about, keep moving. We've got to keep moving. But now if we can get these kids coming along, and that's just part of their life and naturally part of their life, then as they get older, it'll be easy. It's just part of what they are, part of what they do. And that's what we want to make sure and keep going. We want to be able to offer, like we've said, whatever style of exercise that you want, we want to be able to offer it for you, just as long as we can keep everybody moving. Got to keep moving.
So you're looking to be the fitness empire of Jamestown. You want to encompass every kind of
We hope so.
everything that involves being healthy, kind of.
Yep.
We just want to offer it to people. Yeah, we want it to be available. That if you want it, you can show up. If you'll put your time in, we'll be there for you to do it. We've got a lot of plans physically for the location at the 24/7 gym, like flooring, lighting, cleaning up, just sprucing the place up some, rebranding, of course. So we've started recovering benches. I think actually Kim's been handling that, and you've got most of them.
Just about all of them.
Just about all.
We're probably 75% on
the bad benches that's tore.
Everything redone.
I mean, you talk like it's a little bit of a remodel, but that's not going to be anything that affects the day-to-day of it.
Oh, no.
I mean, we'll have to move stuff around, of course. Like, we're going to try to get new rubber flooring down in there. It's kind of pieced up, and it's been torn and stuff, so we're going to try to get it to where it looks nice and uniform. When you walk in, you see a nice, clean gym. So, I mean, there'll be some movement and things happen. There may be pieces down, this day or that day, but as far as like shutdown time and changing the way the gym operates, nothing major. Goal wise, I told somebody the other day, I was like, I used to have a goal that I wanted to go to the games as a Masters athlete. Like when I hit 35, I wanted to go to the games as a Masters athlete. Now I've got this new goal. I guess since we own the gym and I'm back into coaching more, I'm like, I want to train somebody to go to the games. Like, I'd love to train somebody and go to the games with them as their coach. That'd just be awesome. And then, the youth where that starts, those younger guys. The older guys that's in the bad habits, it's hard to get them there, but
Like Kim.
Yeah.
we might get Kim there in a few years.
I think we could. I think we could get him out
He
there.
dials that nutrition in. We might get him there in a few years.
What's the different age categories they have for that?
I don't remember all the cuts. The Masters starts at 35 as a Masters athlete. So like that age group, you start getting into age group stuff.
Yeah.
I'm about to cross over into the next group,
60.
at the 60 group.
Have you thought about going to that and doing that?
Oh, I've not really thought about it. I would like to have the time to put into it, because that would be full time. I mean, that would be, especially at my age.
So maybe when you retire.
But the place to get in would be when you just crossed over into that new bracket, because you'd be the young guy.
Yeah, you'd have some a little bit of an advantage there.
You'd be
Wouldn't
the
you?
young guy on that age group. Right now on the I think it's 40 something to 59, maybe 49 to 59. I'm at the top.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm the old guy.
Yeah. Yeah, but if you got in there, like you said, if you got in there at the low, you'll have an advantage for a
Maybe
couple of
little
years.
Advantage, yeah.
They've got some teen games too. I think it'd be cool to take a teen athlete, train a teen athlete to go to the games. I think that'd be something cool to do. And I don't say that I'm all about the games or the elite athletes, but I just think it'd be something cool. Whereas used to, I was all about like, I'm going to train hard when I hit 35, I want to go to the games as a master's athlete. Well, that's like every other sport. You know what I mean? It's inevitably changing as well. And the guys that you see that's competing and they're crushing it now, they're going to be masters athletes one day.
And if they keep it up, they're still going to be crushing it.
They keep playing, or they keep playing the game, they're going to keep crushing it. You know?
Do you get more of a feeling? Do you feel better when you do a workout or better when you see somebody else that you've kind of coached be successful doing a workout?
It's different. So from a coaching perspective, when I first started, it wasn't ever a goal of mine. Like, I didn't want to coach. I mean, it was just something that as I got in there and got to going, Adam, the previous owner, talked to me about and asked me if it's something I'd be interested in. And I went and got my CrossFit L1 and started coaching there. And I started seeing how rewarding it was. You know, you take somebody who doesn't really know how to move their body to do this squat or to do this hang clean or something, and when they hit it, it's rewarding for them. But to see how pumped they get over hitting something that they weren't able to do, you know, then it's rewarding. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a good feeling to get in there and do a workout, and there's always things like, you know, I remember when I got my first bar muscle up, I was pumped myself, so I feel that side of that as well, and it's rewarding too. But coaching is extremely rewarding, and to see people move and grow, you know what I mean, and be able to do things that they never thought they'd be able to do.
Well, you all got anything else you want to say?
I don't think so. I mean,
Done a good job covering it.
we're trying to reach out. We appreciate you having us.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all coming on. I knew you all were kind of changing the fitness game out there in Jamestown, so I definitely wanted to have you all on to talk to you a little bit. And
I don't know if we're changing the game. We're trying to provide the opportunity, though.
yeah, well, you're definitely. I think you all are going to do well at it, and I like seeing all that coming, you know, to Fentress County, and I think that's going to be you know, like we said, we've got gyms and we had that before, but I just feel like you all do a good job of growing that and adding more options on to people's where there'll be some kind of, like we've talked about, some kind of fitness activity for everybody in the community to do.
Yeah.
If you want to, just go ahead and what's the Facebook pages and then maybe the gym.
NHA.Jamestown, I believe, is what our Instagram's under, and New Horizon Athletics LLC is what our Facebook is under. So the old Facebook's still active for New Horizon, so you got to have the LLC one to be us. So the other one's, I say active, it's not actively being monitored or anything, but it's still on there. New Horizon Athletics LLC or NHA 24/7 on Facebook, and then NHA.Jamestown on Instagram.
All right, everybody, go check them out in Jamestown. Like they said, even if you're a beginner, whatever fitness level you're at, they've got something for you. So check them out and subscribe to the podcast. We hope you come back and listen next time. Have a good one.
Thank you.